This gold medal match, Zorbek Sidakov winning a couple of tight ones. And here we go, the gold medal match at 74 kilos. The United States will come out in the blue. Kyle Dake, the two-time defending world champion. Zorbek Sidakov in the red, independent neutral athlete. Back into the world championships for the first time since 2019.
And it was in the semifinals in 2019 where he defeated Jordan Burroughs. These two have never wrestled in international competition.
Quick stoppage, an inadvertent hand up into the eye area. Sidakov, like he normally does, almost looks like a boxer, kind of jabbing. Hand taps, head taps.
I prefer to say cycling the hands, looking for that head snap like he just did with Kyle Dake.
Snap attempt there by Sidakov.
And so Sidakov's left hand is the attack hand that he makes contact with first, just like that. And that's going to be the initiator for his snaps. And he's going to use his right hand to reach for those legs.
First verbal warning will go to Dake. You mentioned these two have been on a collision course, it seemed like forever, and now it finally becomes a reality. That was back in the days when Dake was some belts at 79 kilos. Sidakov had established himself at 74. Dake made the move down to 74, and we just had near misses of these two colliding with one another, and finally we get it. But boy, we had to sweat it out. We weren't sure Sidakov was going to be able to compete until about 3 or 4 days ago, and that's when everybody celebrated, because you want to see the stars compete, and that's what we have here right now.
So we do have a medical official coming on to look at, we see a little bit of blood on Dake's left ear, and that's what they're taking a look at. Now we know that Sidakov also had his face split open from an earlier headbutt, and that's why he has his head wrapped. Both of these athletes have faced some, surface wound injuries that might affect the match. We know there's limited blood time, so we see that in the left corner. But that shouldn't affect the wrestling that we have here. And so Dake is on the shot clock, and right away goes in that front head stop. He's in a double underhook position. Sidakov's on his knees.
See if it gets confirmed. It does. Dake gets the point, so a 1-0 lead. Off the clock as well. So Kyle Dake, good execution there for the American.
Great execution. Dake did a really great job of pressuring him, snapping him down, double underhooks, pressuring him in the back. Then he lifted it slightly. So Sidakov's knees came off the mat, and that was what awarded him that point. Interesting head movement from Dake, looking to move, get those angles. Great hand fighting from Dake, who did up Sidakov's head and not giving him any space to adjust or to breathe. Nice drop, high crotch. But Sidakov finds himself underneath. He didn't penetrate there. So he's back in the double underhook position.
Dake so strong, just a bowl in the upper body. Sidakov able to clear out those double unders. Both wrestlers disengage, reset back into the center, and we get a stoppage with 28 seconds to go in this opening period. The step-out point, the only point. Dake has been on the clock once. Sidakov just got warned. Next time, he'll go on to the activity clock. Might happen in the second period. We'll wait and see. Both wrestlers circling in the center. 13 seconds to go, first period. And that is it. After one period, Kyle Dake, a 1-0 lead on Sidakov. Sidakov has won a couple of world championships. He's looking for his third, winning title back-to-back years in 2018, 2019. Incidentally enough, the two titles coming against the American Jordan Burroughs in the final. And now he looks at a different American here in 2023, and Kyle Dake taking this weight over for the United States. Let's talk adjustments if there are any for either wrestler after one period.
Well, let's see, because we did have the two independent neutral athletes that competed earlier tonight both score right off the whistle in the second period. So will Sidakov make that decision? No, he does not. Again, he's reaching with his hands. That's his signature hand fighting style, putting a lot of pressure on Dake. Dake's doing a really good job of meeting that pressure with his right hand. He's creating that block, not giving Sidakov the opportunity to snap with his left because he has his right hand in. So Sidakov needs to continue to cycle his hands, but he's so far away right now, and his feet aren't quite underneath him. He needs to bend his knees, keep his head low if he wants to give himself a chance to score.
Judge in the background raises up the blue card. Looks like it gets confirmed. So they're going to put Dake on the shot clock for the second time, and right off the whistle, as you described it. Okay, here comes Sidakov. He's in on a deep, really tough low shot. Dake trying to use upper body strength. Chest wraps over the top. Key moment in this match right now.
No points awarded yet. Dake is looking to lever him up to get that body lock, but Sidakov does an amazing job of getting his head to the outside, getting the angle, getting the 2-point takedown, and then we'll see an additional point will be awarded when that final second on the shot clock expires.
Right off the whistle, Sidakov fired and hit. And now a 3-1 lead with the activity point. Dake trailing for the first time. Minute 40 to go.
Now Dake is never out of a match. He has the ability to score. He's been in these high pressure situations. He reaches in for that single high crotch position and he gets the takedown.
Here we go. The two world champions starting to put on a show now. Tied at 3. Dake with criteria. He's a hammer on top in parterre, trying to get a turn here, but Sidakov flattened out underneath.
Now, I did say Dake has the ability to score when it matters most, but Sidakov has proven time and time again to be able to be the best in the business, especially at the end of matches. We do see Dake grimace in pain. It can be so frustrating when you find yourself with that really small surface that the referee stops the match, starts the blood clock, and all you want to do is get out there and keep the momentum. Dake just had a big takedown to come back on top in this match, and this break is giving Sidakov a time to rest, to restructure, to figure out what he's going to do to take down Dake.
See the blood timeout in the lower left-hand corner. This crowd being thoroughly entertained in the second period. Sidakov comes in with the 2. Timed it beautifully with the shot clock. Dake comes right back. And now tied at 3. Criteria with Dake. And here we go. 75 seconds to determine the world champion.
We can see the sheen on Dake's back as well. You know, late into this match, both these athletes are working so hard, and that sweat body does make a challenge to get that great low level change from Dake. He's in a good defensive position, and but he lifts up. Sidakov takes that opportunity to step in. We see the body lock again from Dake, but Sidakov needs to elevate that leg. We've had the 2 up for Sidakov.
Sidakov given 2. Sidakov awarded 2 more, and he goes up 7-3. Holy smokes. Sidakov with back-to-back 2s. Now the Americans are going to challenge, and they're going to have to sort this out, as will we.
Okay, so on the score clock right now, we have 8-5, which means that they awarded a 2 for the initial takedown, a 1 for Dake to come back on top, and then another 2 to make it 6-5. But USA has challenged, so we will go to the replay right here.
Score tied right here at 3 apiece as we take a look at what they're going to look through this entire exchange. There's the first 2 signaled by the referee for Sidakov. See Dake trying to thrust and lift him over the top. In that process, his blades exposed, thus the initial 2.
Look at him using his left leg to get that final kick over of Sidakov's body. And it is always interesting watching the coaches' reactions as they watch the replay on the screen. And these are the positions that Dake is so dangerous in. With that body lock position, he has put away many of his opponents. Sidakov made the adjustments here, but how will this match be scored is up to the jury to decide, as they are the experts with the implementation of the rules. Wrestling's in a subjective sport. There's 3 officials that referee the match: the on-mat official, the mat judge, the match chairman. But we do have this unique ability to challenge the match, which allows us to go back to video replay. Thank you to technology.
Keep in mind, there's still 28 seconds left, so there is still time. But both corners have had multiple looks. What our replay officials are determining, and what is going to be just a crucial and highly anticipated decision that will be unveiled in a few moments.
And they're trying to watch this position from so many different angles to see who had control where, who initiated the action, and where was the exposures. And so we see here Sidakov reached back with his left hand, but then we see Dake with his left hand reach to the waist of Sidakov, and then Sidakov comes around and comes back on top.
So one more time as we take you through the whole sequence here. And Erica, go ahead, speak out from your time on the mat. Well, let's listen in. They've reached the verdict. Let's dial it in. Well, you need a math major to keep up with all of that.
So that is the correct score that we see in the top left corner. It's 8-7 for Sidakov. So it was 3-3 before they went to the challenge. It was rescored 2-2-2-2, and then a final one of red coming back on top to make it 8-7.
So here we go, 28 seconds. Dake fires like a missile, comes right at him. Sidakov circling around, getting his right arm underhook. Kyle Dake, 18 seconds to go. Sidakov down on both knees, grounded near the edge. Now he hankers down onto that far ankle.
His head is underneath the legs. This is a simple, different position from what we just saw, but once again, Kyle Dake is reaching over, and look at that reaction from Sidakov.
Sidakov not letting go of that leg. Dake, one last thrust, rolls him over toward the side. No exposure, no points awarded. Sidakov is going to win the World Championship, but the United States, since they won that challenge, is going to issue a challenge one more time. So hold the fort here. Well, this one lived up to the billing. And here we go again, back to the replay table, and it's the final few seconds that they will be taking a look at as we look live time up at the Jumbotron right there. Keep an eye on the clock as well, Erica. 4/10, 3/10, still 3/10, 2/10 of a second, 1/10 right there.
What we're looking at, was there exposure of Sidakov's back in this situation? We know He was brought over. Both of them brought each other over. No points were awarded. No exposure for either of them by the on-mat official. What blue is challenging, what the USA team is challenging. Here's the jury to decide.
There's confusion because challenge